Premier is here. Premier Heating and Air is offering rebates starting at $1,000 with the purchase of a new heating and air system. Upgrade your system before the summer heat is here. Premier Heating and Air offering free Wi-Fi thermostats included with the purchase of a heating and air system. And now pay just $89 for a system checkup. Experience the Premier difference today. Or log on to dublin.premierishere.com. Premier Heating and Air, a locally owned and operated company. Hello everyone, we welcome you out to Dr. Bozeman's house here. We're on a beautiful summer day. We're thinking of summer things and summer safety, Dr. Bozeman. We love coming out and talking to you about it. It's just a great time of year to be able to talk about the type of safety we have right here, which is a four-wheeler. This is an older four-wheeler. It's right. Something you've enjoyed for a long, long time, right?
I do. I love to ride ATVs. Yeah. This is a fine time of year to do that, and that's what we see, especially in the summertime when kids are off, from school, enjoying vacations. ATVs are so prevalent around our area. So yes, we want to focus on safety with ATVs.
Yeah, and you and I both grew up riding on a four-wheeler. I mean, we just tear out and go and
many miles
all day, right?
That's right.
And just
a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun, but there are rules that we had and there are rules that we should be following today. They haven't changed, have they?
No, it hasn't. It's a piece of machinery, really, and so safety should come with that. It's a lot of fun. You can have a lot of fun, but they can be incredibly dangerous. And I've seen some terrible things that have happened to kids over the course of my career related to ATVs.
Yeah. So a pediatric doctor, pediatric surgeon here in our community. You serve counties all around us.
Yes, sir.
It's unfortunate, but when something happens to a young child, but you're here to help us. You're
That's
here
right.
to help our community.
That's right.
And so you're here to meet those needs when they happen. And some of them are very tragic, and a lot of them happen on this right here.
They are. We talk about ATV safety, kind of at the forefront of what I want to discuss as far as accidents that can happen is prevention, and in specific, preventing a head injury. Our brain's who makes you who you are and who makes me who I am. So, if you have a broken bone, well, we've got the cure for that. If you've got a busted spleen, if you will, we've got the cure for that. But your head, that's who gives you your personal identity. So head injuries those are sometimes very devastating injuries. Yeah. And the helmet will almost prevent all of those.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, and so they're recommended helmets, are recommended sizes, but you got to put that helmet on.
You do.
And a lot of times it's up to the parent to make sure it happens, isn't
it? You have to be responsible, and you've got to supervise these kids. I've got 3 boys of my own. They love to ride four-wheelers. Yeah. They know not to be on it without a helmet and without me watching them primarily.
Yeah.
In general, we want to see kids that are fitted appropriately for the helmet, but also the ATV. This is an adult-size ATV. A child should never be on this. As a matter of fact, a safe rule of thumb is you ought to be 16 or older, but we know that kids do enjoy ATVs, and there are smaller versions that are fitted for smaller kids. Mm-hmm. Every child's different. You have to know your child. You have to know their maturity level. I certainly wouldn't let my 4-year-old come out here even on a youth model. That wouldn't be smart. So you have to use great decision making and be very judicious.
Yeah. Doctor, I've seen even parents who would demand that they keep it in a lower gear.
Absolutely. A lot of the smaller models will have governors on it where they restrict the speed. It has lower gear ratios so it can't go as fast. So all those are built into kind of these youth models. But once again, there's no substitute for safety. There's no substitute for you as a parent supervising your child and making sure you're watching them at all times.
Yeah. If you're looking at buying one and you thought about it, you could go to a local dealer. We have a Shamrock Honda.
We do.
Over in East Dublin right here. Been here for many, many years. They would probably sit down and show you all the aspects.
Yep, that's right. And there are also ATV safety courses too. And so you'd have to get on the internet, multiple of the ATV manufacturers, they can recommend where those are. But that's always a good decision, is to, just like anything else, be safe and be aware of your surroundings.
Yeah. A lot of times we want to buy that, we want to surprise them, but it would probably serve the purpose to go and to learn about
Absolutely.
The size and what fits your child and what's going to be good for an 11-year-old.
That's
or
right.
if they're 15. But like you say, that helmet is so important, and to purchase a valid helmet, a helmet that's going to protect that brain.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Four-wheelers oftentimes, especially this one, made for one person, right? You load this up with a bunch of kids, well, all of a sudden you've got a recipe for a problem.
Right.
So there are so many ways to get in trouble with an ATV. You have to do what you can to kind of orient yourself to the device and make sure that you're being as cautious as you can. This was made for off-roads. It's not made for a paved road. More and more we're seeing these on the paved roads, and especially these, what we would call side-by-sides.
Right.
They can travel highway speeds. They have big knobby tires that oftentimes will catch on the pavement. So yeah, we're seeing more and more of these injuries.
Yeah, and you see people making long distance rides,
Yeah.
you know, with those side-by-sides, and people just need to use common sense, don't they?
Absolutely. They're made for dirt and outside. It's all terrain, but primarily all terrain means dirt and out in the woods.
Yeah.
But we see them on pavement, and
Yeah.
that's where the real accidents happen.
Yeah, and on those now, most come with a seat belt.
They do. They
Now,
do.
if you have a child in there,
Right, right. So, you know, child restraint's different, right? We used to see that, and I still see that as a child, if they're involved in an accident. Well, were they restrained? That's one question, but were they appropriately restrained? You have a toddler in there, they probably should be in, you know, a car seat, right?
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
just with a lap or shoulder belt around them. So, you know, just try your best to be as safe as possible.
yeah, it seems like we pass along, and a few years go by, maybe a decade, and you see a terrible accident that happens with someone in our community.
That's right, and it kind of resets things, and for a short interval you'll have, everyone will be attuned to safety and how can we try to prevent this, but then over time that seems to wane. And so that's the purpose of today, is to really remind that that danger never goes away. You have to be vigilant and make sure that we're really being cautious.
Yeah, I see even down to the smaller motorcycles, and I'll see.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, I'll see
Yes.
people that'll have kids on those, but some will do the full body padding and
Absolutely.
the helmet. Still,
Yes.
it would worry me. But
Well, there's not a whole lot of protection, right? When you're traveling 40, 45 miles an hour and you hit the earth, that's, that can cause some real devastating injuries. Yeah, four wheels tend to be a little bit more stable than, you know, a dirt bike or something like that.
yeah, so the helmet is the most important
Absolutely,
thing, Doctor?
hands down,
Yeah,
hands down.
and it has to be a rated helmet.
It should be rated, it should be sized and fitted appropriately, and it should be worn the whole time you're on it.
So you could go to a local dealer, as we said, you know, Shamrock, Honda, whomever it may be, and size that helmet. Get one, because it's not doing any good if it turns around on the head.
Absolutely. Make sure the chin strap's in place, that it's fitted, you know, comfortably but tightly, so that it can't, if you are involved in an accident, the helmet doesn't go one way and you go the other. Right?
We take a lot of things for granted, but you've seen some terrible cases. You've seen some cases of people, children who.
I have, and those are things you don't forget, and the best we can do is try to prevent that from happening again.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So another word to the wise, Doctor.
That's right.
We hope you'll practice good safety, pay attention to what the doctors told us today, and just have a great and safe summer. On behalf
Absolutely.
of everyone at Fairview Park, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Tom Dominy. Here at Dublin Nelson, we pride ourselves on providing the industry's highest quality products at the most competitive pricing. We are a full-service wholesaler specializing in plumbing, irrigation, and industrial products. With a staff that collectively offers more than 50 years of expertise, our team knows your industry, and we can answer your questions and help you get the parts and equipment you need. From Moen to Renee, we carry the plumbing, irrigation, and industrial products you need from the brands you trust. We also carry a great lineup of Milwaukee tools. At Dublin Nelson, our goal is the long-term success of your business. We achieve that goal with a simple commitment, doing things right, one customer at a time. If you have a question, or if you're looking for a hard-to-find part, give us a call. Our experts are ready to help. Order online, give us a call, or come by at 507 Airport Road in Dublin. We're committed to building long-term relationships with our customers by earning your business every day.